On this episode, we are going to be talking to LeeAnn Kreischer, part 2. So listen in. Reinvention's not cute. Whoever said that is crazy. They're nuts, okay? Because it's chaotic, it's uncomfortable, but it also is kind of liberating, if I'm being honest, which that's what we do here. I'm Christina Rumbly. I'm a serial reinventionist, and I have done everything you can imagine, all the way from being a pop star to becoming a professional songwriter. From that, business entrepreneur, leading 250 employees, then selling my companies to where I am today. And this is Reinventing Rumbly. And that's what we do here. But we're inappropriately appropriate, of course. So now it's time to reinvent. So let's get to it. What's in your horizon? What's going on? What's the next reinvention for you that's happening right now? What you up to?
I don't know. As you were talking about rejection, reflection, reinvention, I feel like mine is actually reaction, reinvention.
You're
Because
re-reacting.
the nature of Bert is he's such a dreamer
Yeah.
and he dreams up big things, but logistical execution is not his strength.
Right.
But it unfortunately is mine. So we have so much going on. I was just saying to somebody yesterday, I don't have time for my stuff. I only have time for our stuff. I don't want to say his stuff because I don't want to blame him
Right.
for but I mean, we do this business that is his career, we do together.
Right.
So we have so many things in the next 18 months that I just feel like I got to make it to April 2027.
Sounds
I'm
like
just
you just did it again where you're like the wait list, right? Like I just
exactly.
have to you're just
That's
always
right.
I think when I saw you last time, you're like, well, I just have to get to
That's how I maladaptively adapt to the eating up of my own needs, really, because I would rather spend, if I could take 30% of my time off of Bert's plate and put it onto mine, I think I'd be really happy.
Yeah.
And I'm not unhappy. That's what's so confusing is I'm not unhappy enough to go well, I'm out. But there's part of me that goes, I just need 30% more for
Of
me
you. Yeah.
to develop what I want to develop, to write a book or not write a book, or, you know, to dig into some projects that I'm interested in that are just my projects and my ideas and my creativity, but I just don't have the space for it because what we've decided to build together is so much bigger.
Yeah.
So I don't regret any of those things, but I do regret my own things. Does that make sense?
It does. It does. And I know that for you because you've done that many years, but you're so good at compartmentalizing and being able to go, okay, I see the bigger picture. I see how to
Mm.
get there. I see how we're going to execute that. You've got the dreamer. And because you are an incredible executor, and let me tell you something, as an executor myself, too, I'm
Mm.
kind of a hybrid, a little bit of a dreamer and executor, but I can tell you that the execution is everything because
Mhm.
without it, it's just a lot of hot air.
That's right. Nothing happens.
It's
Nothing.
people everyone can dream of coming up with the cat cube, okay, or Doug always
Yes.
like the pet rock. Well, but someone did and you didn't. Like
Yeah.
Doug and I used to
Yeah.
joke about that because 'cause he'd be like, "Well, I came up with this kitty cube years ago." I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, horseshoes and hand grenade on your birthday." That whatever my dad used to say he would say like pork chops and applesauce grow hair on your chest. I bet your dad had some similar nice little
Oh, yeah.
fun Southern sayings. But it's
Yes.
the same thing. It's like everybody can have a dream and an idea, but it's those that can put it into action, not to pull in the dream into action of our old Beverly Hills Playhouse. Hold on, to get me out of
Mm,
that headspace. But
mm,
there is an element of that of everything is a great thing until it's real, and it takes so much more balls to make something real because you have to be willing to fail and fail hard. And I think that's what keeps people from dreamers and doers, the doers. You know what I mean?
yeah. Fear of failure? Totally.
Absolutely. Yeah. So
Totally.
so I see that for you. I see that you have the ability to go, "Okay, 18 months. which will turn into 24 because that's just reality, if not longer. But then you go, okay, well, then I'll be 57. And you can write a book whenever you want. I think the goal is just to always have whatever it is over here that's percolating for you. How do
Mhm.
you touch that and keep it alive and smoldering while you're
Mhm.
still stoking fires over here and building this big bonfire? You still have this other smoldering over here to just not lose sight of it, because you're so talented. I mean, and you
Aw.
continue to do that. I mean, even producing, that's been an incredible hat that you put on. And I think it's really shown in Bert's evolution of his career. Like I said, he has to have the talent to keep him in the door. We know that. And nothing would ever derail from that, because his skill is his connecting with people. He's a great
Mhm.
storyteller. He's funny as shit. But you have such a good handle on how to get the best out of him in front of people. I really think that, and that he trusts you, and that's the key.
Yeah, he does trust me a lot. We have a really good creative working relationship for the most part. It's definitely not perfect, but we've made a lot of things together. And what we've built together is extremely rewarding and fulfilling. So sometimes it is hard to let myself go, "Aw, but there's this other stuff over here I really didn't get to do," because I have all of this aplenty that
Yeah,
I am really grateful for and very proud of. But there's only 24 hours in a day,
that's right.
and you just can't do it all at the same time. You can do it all, just not at the same time. And I think mine just I keep moving that end date,
I know.
right? I got to get to the special.
Yeah.
And then when the special's done,
But
I
then
can
Bert calls
breathe.
you and says, "Guess what? We just
Yes,
got another special." And you
that's what he
go,
does. And then I go, and I just came up with this festival idea and I'm doing this. What about a 5K? And how about a movie? And how about this? And then you're like, okay, well, we just he keeps moving my end date.
yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think and I just keep focusing on that end date because I'm like, well, there's an end. Here it is. It's coming.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then we blow right through it.
Well,
So
hopefully for you. Okay, so let's pretend you're at 24 months or whatever it is, like dot dot dot. You're at the end date. What does that look like or smell like to you? Feel like?
yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. Bert and I have talked about that a lot because one of the reasons, to circle back to working out, I was
Mm.
like, one of the reasons I want to do some traveling with friends while we feel good
Yeah.
and while we still have some stamina. I mean, I sound like such an old lady, but I'm
No,
actually not an old lady now.
no, you go
So
out dancing. Listen, I see you at concerts dancing, holding, cutting the rug, and doing karaoke on Fully Loaded. I was like, dude, that's my jam. I love
yeah,
seeing you do that. I love it.
totally. I just went dancing out with Georgia at her college. She wanted
I
us to go to an
saw.
80s dance night, and we were like, "Yeah,
I
let's do
love
it."
it. I
But
love it.
but I'm like, I said to Bert, well, I think our next frontier is to really go back into our friendships. And a lot of our friends we're very lucky in that we can't travel the world in first class, 5-star, whatever. But most people we could meet somewhere and go camping. We
Totally.
could meet somewhere and go hiking. We could meet somewhere and just hang out at a pool. But I think we need to start kind of going back to those interpersonal relationships that are fulfilling, um, that really feed us,
Yeah.
and relax into that. And, Bert, what's interesting is I don't set goals. I don't know why. I just keep lists of tasks, but I don't really set goals. I don't
Your
be like, I'm
task?
going to lose 5 pounds in the next 12 weeks. I don't do that. I just go, I'm working out 3 days a week and
Yeah.
whatever happens, happens. That's the
Yeah.
way my brain works.
It might be
But
better.
I mean, I don't know. I will go, I will complete this to-do list, period. But Bert sets goals for himself every year on his birthday. And this year, all of his goals were personal. None of them were professional. And he was like, that's interesting. What
Yeah.
does that mean? Right?
That's a
Does
big
it
deal for
mean
him.
it's a huge deal for him? So, but the reflection of it is, what does that mean? Why am I starting to set more personal goals than professional goals?
Maybe because he's craving what you were talking about, that
I think so.
reconnecting with people that don't love him for being Bert, meaning the name. They love him and you for like Doug and I. We love the two of you because we've
Known you
known you
forever.
guys for freaking
Forever.
ever. Before anyone was anything and could care about that stuff in the world, it was just about us before we had kids and then having kids. And I think that it's interesting because I relate so much to Bert in a lot of ways because that's what I kind of started doing because the goal of building the companies, of being acquired, having a big title, a big salary, and it's all relative, right? Big salary compared to who? First world problems, but still problems because you look at life through that lens and then you're like, when it goes away, you see, Bert's at that still, he's still at the height of where he is, right?
Mm.
And you're chasing that. And so I chased that for so long in a different capacity than the entertainment world that I was in. But now it's weird because when that goes away is when the silence is deafening. And that was the hardest part for me is the silence was deafening and the fear of not feeling valued or that I had purpose anymore. It's the what's your purpose? And Doug, of course, Doug says, you need to get paid for your mouth. And I said, all right, you need to what? Hold on.
You need to shut your mouth.
I was
How
like,
about that?
do you mean what I can do with my mouth or what are we talking here? Because are we desperate for cash? Where are we
Right?
at here? What
Right.
mouth usage are we talking about? And he was just like, you need to be speaking, you need to be talking. And that's where this kind of all came from. And look, something that you guys said when you were talking to Bert on your 400th episode, which by the way, your team getting you that trophy was fantastic. I love that.
Aw,
It's so cute
I
because
did
it goes
too.
with your cheerleader one. You know what I mean? We were
I
cheerleaders.
know.
We
I
know.
love it. It's over there. It's on my
I
table.
love that. And I think it's important because it's a big feat to accomplish because it's consistency and that you're disciplined in that way. And I think that says a lot. Not a lot of people can make this happen. And
Mhm.
and it's not your husband. It's you. It's you. They're watching you. You have almost 100,000 or more subscribers because of you. And I think that is so inspiring for someone like me who's touched and kissed a little bit of that in my life, right? Boom,
Mhm.
off, in, out, and never at that kind of pinnacle life. But I understand that feeling of wanting to reconnect and
Mhm.
needing that because that's where I am right now. And I can relate to that because Bert doesn't, he's kind of reached that level, but he'll always kind of be craving that too.
Mhm.
So what do you guys do what have you talked about it too? When it does eventually start to go and goes gently down on the other side of that mountain. What does that look like, you know?
I don't know. We'll have to see when it comes, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we got a little glimpse of it with empty nesting. I mean, like
Yeah.
we feel like having kids and having a loud, boisterous house full of teenagers, and now it's definitely silent, like you described. It's really sad.
It is.
It's really hard. It's not what I prefer. So
Right.
you have to replace it with something. And we haven't, there's, my two of the words I live by are grace and gratitude. So
Mhm.
you have to give yourself the grace to be sad and to say it's okay to feel this loss. It's
Yeah.
not I haven't lost my kids, but I've lost a moment in
Yeah.
my life, right? There's a
Right.
moment in your life where kids are home and it's rowdy and Bert's cooking breakfast for 4 teenagers and, you know, we're building water slides out of visqueen in the backyard. Well, that's done. Now, when we have grandkids, which will probably be 10 years from now, let's just say,
Yeah.
we can do some of that again. But we have this gap where you have to give yourself a little bit of grace to feel the loss and the grief of the past before you jump into the future. So that I think when you move into the next phase, you move into it as a wise person, as someone who's like, this is who we are now in a very kind of, I don't want to say empowered way, but sort of empowered, I guess, to know that this is the next phase and this is where I want to be. I mean, I have fantasies all the time where I go, I think we should just buy an RV and drive all over the US.
I've already looked at them. I've been looking for a year at RVs.
I look at them all the time because I go, wouldn't it be nice? And Bert goes, I have a tour bus. And I went, dude, There's no oven, stove, or any way to cook in
Yeah.
your tour bus. It is a rolling bachelor pad.
It
And
is.
I'm not spending X amount of months driving across country in a rolling bachelor pad with 4
No.
bunk beds. No,
No.
not
You need
doing
to
it.
get one that's got the king bed and the TV with the kitchen,
Yeah.
the full kitchen where you can actually take a dump if you have to, and they don't tell you
Yeah.
it's not allowed. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm with you. I've looked at them when we had the hurricane here, and with everything going on in the world, I don't think I haven't been looking at acreage and going, am I gonna okay. So listen, I've done, I'm not a camper. Okay. I don't
Right.
camp. I'll glamp.
Yeah.
I won't camp.
Yeah.
I will glamp
Yeah.
all day. I will wade fish. I just saw you guys fishing, trout fishing. Love it. Fly fishing is one of
Yep.
my favorite things in the world. And I'll tell you right now, like if I could have a glamping kind of experience, I'm down. But
Yeah.
if I'm in an RV, there has got to be I'm going to be in the $500,000 RV. That's the problem with me is I'm a little
Yeah.
bit of a snob in certain areas. See, I love you because you're like, dude, make it a nice RV, but you can hang. You're a camper. My only
Yes. I love to
camping
camp.
only camping I ever did was with you and your birthday when Doug and I went, and Doug and I looked at each other and said, "We'll never do this again. We'll never do it again.
You're not the only person on that trip that said, I'll never do this again. Bert's sister was like, never,
Never.
never do this
So
again.
much
And
fun. Never happening again."
yeah, it was
Yeah.
it was a one-off for you guys. I freaking love that shit. So does Bert.
I know.
But at this age, I don't really want to sleep on the ground anymore.
Yeah.
It's not comfy.
My
As we slept on the ground in that camping trip. And
I didn't.
I did.
No, you know what I did?
What?
Remember, I brought a blow up.
Yeah,
Remember?
you brought blow up chairs,
Chairs.
like recliner type chairs. Hysterical. You guys were so funny. I have loved Doug from the first time I met Doug.
Yeah.
I understood him. I got him. I loved him. I always
Because
have.
he walked around and was like, literally, we're at dinner and he's walking around knocking on, going, "That's solid wood." And LeeAnn, construction is LeeAnn's, like she knows construction. She
Yes.
lived it. She was a foreman. LeeAnn's
Yep.
really like a dude with a freaking tool belt on, but very feminine, right? So it's
Dude
like
with
this.
boobs. I'm a dude with boobs.
You're
Yes.
no cock needed. Okay. Bert's like, cock? Who's cock? What's going on?
You mean mine? Are you talking about mine? That's
Talking
what
about
you
my
would say.
cock,
You mean mine?
my naked man cock that's always in her
Right.
face all the time. And she is
Right.
asking me. Yeah, I told you about. I warned you and said,
I know.
dick on the move. all the time.
100%. 100. He is constantly naked. The other day, I've posted so many pictures of him naked because
I've
I think
seen
it's
them.
so funny.
I've seen Bert's ass more than my own husband's. Like,
Right?
I've seen it. I can
It's-
draw it.
I mean, he was naked like that when the girls were little.
Right.
And then
'cause
I
they didn't care.
remember at a certain point he came in and he goes, I guess I got to start wearing underwear. And I'm like, I have 2 daughters. And I'm like, yeah, I think now. He would never bathe. He used to get in the tub with them and bathe them. And
Yeah.
he would always put underwear on when
Yeah.
he was in the tub. Because you're like, it's a little too weird.
Yeah, a little floppy doppy, a little floating.
too weird.
He probably is like, the kids go, "What's that floating?" Yeah, I know, because that's what happened with Doug. He used to bathe with Avery, and then all of a sudden he was like, "I'll be putting on my swim trunks," and then it was I think she was like 6 or something, and she said something like, but pointed or something. He went, "Yep, that's it. That's weird," because he would play. He was always the most hands-on dad, like. Because I was horrible. You've always been so great. Like, get in there, get dirty on the ground. I was always like, "Ooh, I don't want it under my nails." Total bitch. Like, I'm like, I'm horrible. But I'm the girl who would be like, "Let me sing and rock you to sleep. I'll rub your back, but don't make me get on the ground and get dirty." Nah, I didn't grow up with that. And then I looked at my history and I looked back and said, I don't have any pictures of me with my mother or my dad doing anything. Like, I don't have pictures of us camping, going to a lake, on the beach, like nothing. And I was like, did we go anywhere? Did we do anything? Because I don't have pictures of shit. And I'm like, okay, so that's what was going on. Oh, that's right. I was raised where my mom worked 24/7, and shocker that my daughter has some of those
wait.
similarities.
Your dad didn't take you fishing growing up?
Not really. I mean, a little bit, but I don't have a lot of pictures. We would go
No.
because he would load you in the boat at 3:34 in the morning with the camo on. I had the whole camo gear.
How funny.
Sitting up in a deer stand crying
Yeah.
because I'm miserable and it's 150 degrees in Florida with the bugs and it's raining 15 times and it's running down into your underwear. And I'd be like, this is great. I
That's
love
so
shooting
fun.
Bambi. I want to
I
kill
love it.
Bambi. Hated it.
That's funny.
But
Yeah, that's funny.
I just wanted to have you on and just talk shop and just get a little snippet and a little sliver of your life of where you're at. And I'm just so grateful for our longevity of friendship, because what it tells me is through all of it, through the ups and downs and life's freaking twists and turns and all the places that we could go and have been, the stories, all of it. It just always leads me back to the heart. And you're someone that I lean in on often in my brain and in when I talk to you. I love how thoughtful you are, not only as a friend, but also as a female to female. You're such a positive, inspirational, like encourager. You always have been for me. And you've seen me go through waves of ups and downs. And I just, there's a certain handful of people in my life, and it's a very small group, literally. But I think what's important to me is having people like yourself who get to speak to people every week and touch and come into their lives, whether they're home or in their earbuds or whatever, and maybe make them laugh, cry, have some thoughts, tell them to work out, hold them accountable, but really helping people. And I think that that is something that serves you and serves your community, and that's all of us, very well. And thank you for having
Mm.
that, because you've encouraged me to do it. You specifically, and Bert saying Rumbly should do a podcast. Like, she needs to do this. It means a lot, because it's something that helps me feel like, okay, there's something here. Maybe
Right.
listen, one person, 100 people could listen. Five. I'm not doing it for clout. It's just for me to get out and take the muzzle off for the first time in a very long time, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you always have a lot to say. And I would say back to you, I've always been so impressed and in awe of your dreamer doer combo that you said you have. You do have that. You dream really big and then you make those dreams happen. And it's amazing to be in the presence of someone like that. I've
Mm.
always been like that with you. When we were waiting tables, and you got the call to the major leagues where you were, I can quit my job because I am a musician in this girl group and I am going on the road. We had beepers.
We did.
And I would page you like, I'm so proud of you or something. And I
Yeah.
didn't really know you that well at the time,
Right.
but I kept thinking, I felt like we were all in like farm league baseball and someone went up to the show. Someone went to the majors, and we should freaking clap and say, you go girl, because you go girl, I get to go with you
Yeah.
because you're my friend and because I want you to go where you want to go. I just have always been such a Rumbly cheerleader. I've
You have.
always been on your team and for you. I just love and adore you. You're one of the best people I know. You would do anything in the world for a friend or for a stranger. You're such a pure what you see is what you get. And that's really refreshing, to just be who you are, and what you see is what you get. Take it or leave it, like it or not.
Yeah.
You can't help yourself, Bert. I mean, Christina, Bert, you just can't help yourself. You are who you are. And it's a beautiful thing to be with another person who just is who they are. And I am who I am. We're just very different. And that's beautiful also.
It is.
That
I think that's why our friendship is so strong in that way, because we don't get to see each other but once a year maybe, or twice a year, and that's pushing it. But we always don't miss a beat. I can be on your show and talk to you for 4 hours. Now the
Yeah.
audience may be like, but we'll keep it going. We'll talk
Yeah.
about shit all day because we
Forever.
stop. Yeah, forever.
Yeah.
And so I'm craving a girls' trip. So when you and
Oh.
Bert figure that out, we got to make
I
that
almost
happen.
had that one. I almost had it in November. I was so close,
I was ready.
and then it all fell apart.
I know,
So,
I know. But I'm
I had
ready. I
You
don't
coming?
care.
I had someone coming from Alabama.
Yeah.
I had my girls from California. I had a plan. I was getting all these fabulous. I have someone that's already in Vegas. I have all these fabulous women that were all going to go to a Pitbull concert and to a spa. It was a
Yeah.
pit bull and a spa, and it fell apart. And I was so bummed
That's
because I was
okay.
like,
It just
yes.
means, listen what that means. It means, this is me being, let me put my woo-woo hat on. What that
Mhm.
really means, LeeAnn, if we're thinking about it on a theological level, is that I
Yes.
would say that that just means that whatever we are going to do is going to be even more fabulous and even better
Amazing.
than ever. So that
Not
what we
so
have to
deep
do,
thoughts with Rumbly, not so deep thoughts.
not so deep thoughts.
But I'm so proud of you. I'm so excited to see where you take this podcast and this new journey, this reinvention of Rumbly. It's going to be really amazing. I'm really, really proud of you. And I'm
Thank you.
excited. And I'm very flattered that you wanted me to be your first guest. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
I
It's a
love
big
being a
deal,
part.
and it's been a lot of talk and doing and the dreamer doer, and so like I've said to Doug, look, 2 people can watch it, 2,000 people can watch it. If it'll hit, if it doesn't, I don't know, but there's just something powerful, I think, about putting your voice out there,
Mhm.
especially if you feel you have something to say. And even if you don't, like Bert said to your thing on your 400th episode when he was there talking to you, I really was inspired by the two of you talking about this because it actually reiterated why I'm doing it. Is he said,
Mm.
it doesn't matter if anyone watches it because that's not why you do it. And if that is your catalyst to do it, is like, I've got to make it successful. Everybody has to watch it. You probably are going to fail if you come at it from that angle so hard. Doesn't mean you don't have goals and you don't set your sights on it.
Sure.
But I definitely think it has to be because I can't not do it. And I
That's
never
right.
could do it because I was tethered to a company where I'd have to watch what I say. I
Yeah.
can't be muzzled. And if you do muzzle me, then I'm not me. So I've been muzzled for many years, self-inflicted, right? But
Yeah.
for the first time, no one can say shit. No one can say to me, hey, you got 250 employees. You probably shouldn't say the F bomb or don't say GD or do yourself a favor. You want to like curb that back. No one can tell me dick.
Yeah.
And there's something freeing about that for the
Yeah.
first time I feel in 30 years. So I'm just like, I kind of I want to at least give people some love, make them laugh. And if that inspires one person or 1,000 people or nobody, it inspires me to
Mhm.
keep on trucking because, I'm limited in the amount of friends I have. And like I said, you're one of those in this group, very
Yes.
close, tight that I keep like to my chest. Um, and I think that it's important that we always try to work on those friendships when we can. And so I just
Mhm.
thank you for always knowing as busy as you are, you at least you give me the time when I need it the most, and that means a lot to me because I won't
Well,
ever abuse it. You know me, I won't ask for something and unless I need it from you.
I know. Well, we're true friends. We
Yeah,
don't have to qualify or quantify any of that. It
totally.
happens when it happens, and when it doesn't happen for a while, that's okay too.
It is.
It's
It is.
it's when I need you, I call you, and when you need me, you call me,
I
and
do.
that's the way it works. Friendship should be easy. It should not be a second job.
Right.
It should be a soft place to fall. It
I
should be
love that.
easy. It should be effortless for the most part. Obviously,
Yeah,
you don't ignore people or be shitty to people, but it should be pretty effortless. And our
yeah,
friendship has always been really effortless.
totally.
It's not that deep, and it is at the same time very deep.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
The
It's
relationship doesn't even need to have the depth because it has it naturally. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we just
exactly. It's already there. It's
yeah.
built in.
There's a
It's
there's a
built in.
comfortability. There's a comfortability there, and, well, I thank you again. I'm gonna let you get on out because I know you got another one you gotta hop on to, and
I do.
whirlwind it is of LeeAnn's life, but we have to
Yes.
plan that getaway, and you just keep me in the loop because I will be there with bells on.
I love you,
I love you too. I'm so
and I'm so
grateful.
proud of you.
Thank you. Wow. Okay. So we got it. It's in the can. We did it. LeeAnn was here, and I could not be more thankful. What an awesome, awesome time together. Thank you, LeeAnn. Do me a favor. Make sure you write to me. Let me know your stories. I'd love to talk about it on the podcast at reinventingrumbly@gmail.com. And hey, subscribe or tell your friends, share it, listen to the podcast, do all those fun things. Click subscribe, follow, blah, blah, blah. You know how it goes. And hey, if you have to feel so inclined, a 5-star wouldn't hurt either. So would love to have you coming back for more. Every week we're doing this. Wednesdays we're dropping things like it's hot. And yeah, I'm just grateful to have you here. I'm going to keep talking if people still listen. So thanks a lot. And don't forget, we are always reinventing. I know you are. I know I still am. I will be till the day the good Lord takes me. So pull up a chair, tune in, and let's do this windy road of life together.